Old World Charm, A Witch's Three Cozy Mystery, written by Cate Martin, narrated by Tia Ryder. Chapter 1. Late December, in the middle of a Minnesota snowstorm that couldn't decide between a whiteout of blowing flakes and icy sleet sharp enough to sting, was no time to go down to a cellar, especially if that cellar was like the one in Miss Zenobia Weeks's charm school for exceptional young ladies, which had just one way down, and that was from the backyard. Luckily, being witches, we had ways of keeping a warm pocket of precipitation-free air around us as we went out the back door and around the protruding solarium to the cellar doors that were slanted just a few degrees above laying flat on the ground. It might have felt like rubbing in my current lack of a wand when Brianna waved hers about before we were even down the steps to the cellar and the fire in the wood-burning stove flared to bright, crackling life. It might have, but I knew Brianna didn't have a bone in her body capable of rubbing a thing in. She was only focused on creating more light and warmth. But I still felt a little jab of sadness at my wandlessness. The warm bubble of dry air spell was never one Brianna had taught me, but making warmth and light had been one thing I had succeeded at, before my wand fell into the hands of an enemy witch. She had held it for just a moment, but that had been a moment too long. When I held my wand in my hands, it no longer felt like part of me, and I was pretty sure that it felt the same about me. Brianna's shadow shrank and gained definition as she walked up to the wood-burning stove, then grew bigger and more diffuse as she continued past it, to another oven built into the stone wall itself. She took the warm air bubble with her, I realized, as my back felt instantly cold. I turned to pull the cellar doors shut behind me, just as the wind built up to a gust that whistled through the trees in shrieks and moans. The doors kept out the snow and sleet, but not that ghostly howling. I scurried down the wood steps to the stone floor, pulling my sweater closer around me despite the warmth of the fire I was approaching. It was still roaring and dancing over the logs, crackling and snapping as sap ignited, and the smoky smell of its cured wood burning cleanly went a long way to driving off the otherwise mildewy cellar smell. But the stones held on to the cold. Even through the soles of my winter boots, I could feel the chill in the floor radiating up to my calves. "I think we're ready," Brianna said, from where she was peering into the oven built into the side of the fireplace. The fire had burned down to sullenly glowing embers, and compared to the wood-burning stove...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?